Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry for the long break. Been a little busy, but I decided, hey, let's make some oatmeal soap today. So let's go over the ingredients. The first thing that I have is my lye water mixture, honey, oat extract, and then my melted butter and oils. I also have some ground oatmeal and fragrance, obviously. It's got to go in there. And then I have some utensils here, whisk, just in case I need to kind of mix things together, and my immersion blender and a few spoons. So let's get started. First things first, since I am working with a lye water mixture, I am going to put on my safety gloves just to protect my skin. Hopefully my butters and oils and lye water mixture have been cooling for a while, so hopefully they will be ready to go. You like to make sure that everything is within 10 degrees of one another. So my oils are at 104 and my lye water is at 111. So that's pretty good. We can work with that. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my immersion blender in there, and I'm just going to pour the lye water down the stick blender here. Always make sure you have some paper towels nearby just in case you make a mess. I tend to always make a mess when I'm soaping, so I keep paper towels in reach. The next thing we're going to do is just burp my mixture here just a little bit. And I'm going to stick blend just enough to incorporate the oils, because that's after I do that I want to add my honey and my oat extract. Alright. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm just gonna take the top off for a second so that I can go ahead and add my two ingredients that I need to add. There's the oat extract and gotta add the honey. All right. As you know, honey is a sugar, so it may speed up trace just a little bit, but we'll see how things go. All right, next, I'm just gonna stick blend this for about a minute or so. We want it to be like a milkshake consistency. Not too thick, but not too thin. And you want to make sure all the oils are incorporated. This is pretty good. It's pretty milkshakey. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to split the batch into two. Let me just give it one more little whiz. All right, not so bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to split the batch into two portions. If I can just get my scale here. Okay. Make sure after you put your bowl on, and it can be plastic or glass, doesn't matter. Just make sure you go ahead and tear it so that you have a zero balance And then I'm gonna try to pour about 3 cups. So roughly 24 ounces. And as you can see, it's starting to thicken up on me. Okay, that's good. And it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. If you're just starting out, just making soap, it's gonna take a while to kind of learn how to do everything. So don't worry, just keep practicing. You'll probably throw out a lot of soap in the beginning, just batches that don't come out right, and that's okay. You have to learn. All right, I think that's about good. So we've got our 2 batches separated out. I'm just gonna move the scale out of the way. So the next thing that we're gonna do is into this first batch here, that's about 3 cups, we're gonna add our first fragrance blend. And we're also gonna add about a tablespoon of the oats that I have. I actually have whole oats and ground. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of the ground. Okay. So I have 1 tablespoon of the ground oats. And we'll add our fragrance oil. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk that together. All right, so that's pretty good. Nice consistency there. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're gonna go over here to our original bowl. And to that bowl, we are going to go ahead and stick blend that until it's about a medium trace. And we're also gonna add the other fragrance to it. I have 2 different fragrances that I have decided to use. And we're also gonna add the ground oats. So I'm gonna go ahead and shake these in, but I just want to give it a quick stir here. It's actually pretty much where we want it, so I don't think I'm gonna stick blend it. I think it's okay. All right, go ahead and add those in. And I'm going to add in my fragrance as well. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to stick blend this. This is pretty good. I actually like the consistency. Consistency is going to be based on a lot of things. The temperature in your house or the room that you're soaping in, and just how your oils and butters and the lye come together. So you just have to eyeball it, to be honest. I like to work with my soap when it's a bit more runny. I don't like it so thick because I like to have time to be able to get it into the mold and play with it a little bit if I need to. So long as everything is well incorporated, you're fine. So for me, this looks about good. Let me see if I can kind of show you here. Not really, but that's a better, yeah. See, a bit runny. That's what I like. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is move out some of these things that I'm no longer using, just to get them out the way. And I'm gonna pull out my mold to show you what it looks like. So I have my mold here. It's just a square box mold. I've lined it with freezer paper, and I have a silicone insert that is in there as well. I just did it just for extra protection, just to keep my mold as clean as possible. It's up to you. You don't have to. It's whatever you choose. So the first layer that I'm going to be pouring down into the mold, oh wow, this is actually getting pretty thick pretty fast. I'm going to move pretty quick. The first layer that I'm going to be pouring is this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in from the smaller bowl. And you can use any scents that you want. It's up to you, whatever mixtures you want. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. I like to get everything out of the bowls, give it a good scraping, no leftover soap behind. All the soap goes into the mold. Okay. So we have all of the soap in there. It's looking pretty good. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of work it into all of the corners, make sure it's even. This is why I like to use a more runny base for my soap, and I don't like to stick blend it like way too much or do an overkill on the stick blending. Again, as long as it's well incorporated and mixed thoroughly, you're good, but I just like to keep it as thin as possible so I have a chance to work with it. All right, we're good there. Let me just get a paper towel and wipe off my gloves. Okay, so the next one, ooh, this got rather thick, so we'll have to be quick. This is the top layer. Yeah, you can kind of tell it got super thick pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and get this into the bowl. I'm sorry, in the mold, out of the bowl and into the mold. So we'll go ahead and pour this in. As you can see, it's quite thick, but it's okay. No worries. We can still work with it. And the fragrance is super, super fragrant. I can like smell it. It's almost overkill. But as you know, your soap will heat up, so that scent will fade just a bit. So not to worry. The soap in the end will come out smelling delicious. All right. We've got everything out of the mold for the most, or out of the bowl for the most part. So I'm just going to go in and spread this out so that it's even in all sections. And again, I'm just making sure everything is even on all sides, kind of smoothing everything down. Your soap doesn't have to be perfect. So what I'm doing now is just moving it down off the sides so that it's clean around the edges. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can. I just like to try to get a clean look on all sides. And I'm still just doing a bit more spreading. And as your spatula kind of gets full from spreading, you can just scrape it off on the bowl and then dump it right back on top. If you want a textured top, now would be like the perfect time to do that. So if you want a bit of texture to the top of your soaps, I just want to try to get mine as smooth as possible. And it takes a little finessing. Like, I'm not perfect at this. I just try to do my best every time. All right. I'm pretty happy with the top. Let me see if I can wipe off my hands really quick and then grab the camera and show you guys how it looks. Oh, see something on the give there. I just want to give me 1 second. Okay, I also want to give this a slam down. Sorry. All right, let's see if I can fix this. Well, I want to show you what the top looks like anyway. So here's the top. Okay, nice and smooth. See if I can fix the camera back. I'm so sorry, guys. There you go. I know you're like, what the heck? Still working on my camera skills. Not that great at it. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take dividers that I have here and I'm going to place them down into the soap. And this will give 9 bars. And I'm just going to push them down in. So I'll get 9 even bars. And you want to push everything evenly. The soap will kind of rise up as you're pushing. Okay. Perfect. Let's see if I can show you guys. Okay. Well, let's move my little napkin out the way. Here we go. 9 even bars. Not looking too bad. And the last thing I'm going to do is sprinkle some oats on top. So I have my oats here. And I'm just going to sprinkle them on top. Doesn't have to be perfect placement, just as long as you get them on top. What I will do after I get them sprinkled down is push a few of them in so they actually stay. And how many you use is up to you, or how much you use is completely up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with. I tend to like a lot of oats because they're going to fall off anyway when you start to take them out the mold. All right. Try to get some in those edges if you can. And we're good. So again, I'm going to give it another beat down. All right. And then I have a little chopstick here. I'm just going to try to press some of the oats down into the soap so that they stay. That's all. And just lightly pack them down into the soap. And there you have it. My soap is completely done. Now what I will be doing, let's see if you guys can see. Okay, here we go. So what I will be doing is putting a top on this soap, wrapping it with a towel, and leaving it for about 3 or 4 days just to give it a chance to settle, and then I'll take it out and come back and show you guys the final look. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and if you feel like you want to ask a question, don't hesitate. I'll be more than happy to answer them if I can.